complete. So Stefan and Amelia, they are on vacation. We can start. Let me share. Looks like this will be a short meeting.
Yeah.
Do you see my screen?
Yep.
Hello to the TUC meeting on 19th of March. Today we have a short agenda to go over the actions from last week. We'll review the open PRs, RFCs, and issues, and talk about any other business. Last week, any action items? We didn't have any action items last week. So this week, KubeCon is happening. I see here KubeCon. That's why most of the people are not there, maybe. Okay, then we can go to the dashboard to check on PRs. So we don't have any open PRs. Regarding RFCs, so we have some RFCs here. Maybe I think the one regarding CV number of authority still blocked. This is not there. Noble Numbat, the next stem cell line. I actually updated all added changes for the comments we had already on the PR and didn't get any other comments back. I think at the moment all the discussions are addressed in the current version of the RFC. And we don't have any open discussions yet. I would say this we can put this in final comment period.
Yes, I would agree.
I would agree as well.
Okay, then Tuesday should be okay. If you have any comments, please use the next week. Oh, I see we maybe need here state in final comment period. I will leave it in progress. So the next one is about the generic per route feature. I was looking into this today, but there are still open discussions. I would say that we can leave this until the discussions are resolved and then see. Do you have any comments on this?
No, I don't have a lot of context on routing. But Amelia does.
Sorry?
That Amelia has a lot of context on routing, so would
Yeah.
want to wait for Amelia.
Yeah,
I was just thinking about having just a generic map of values which you can send to the APIs, whether there are any security issues with that. But maybe we can add some comments. Most probably people consider this. And here is a new RFC about introducing adding cloud native buildback support to the Cloud Foundry runtime. This is basically just checking some. There was, maybe I can open the easy read. Sorry, let's preview. So the RFC suggests to extend the Cloud Foundry life cycles with a new life cycle about native buildbacks for native buildbacks. So basically, it builds on the old one, which aimed to create shims for the Cloud native buildbacks, and without changing anything in the Cloud Foundry runtime, having the options to experiment with the native buildbacks, which are shimmed. And this proposal is to have a native integration in the Cloud Foundry runtime for Cloud native buildbacks with a life cycle for Cloud native buildbacks. The existing stack can be used here, so there are no changes for the stack, and introduce changes to the manifest so that people, or to the CLI, so that people can specify that this is the application is targeting the native buildbacks.
Yeah, there's so specific. There's not going to be any mix and match at this point, right? Like there's no being able to have them work at the same time. I mean, sure, on your platform, but when pushing your app, you have to choose between which brand or which type of build package you're going to use.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if it's possible to mix and match and have it auto discover. I think that the matrix on trying to figure that out on a push would that would be some complex logical code to figure that out.
The detect is out of scope for this RFC, right?
Detect of what?
Detecting build like or system build packs were out of scope. I mean, I'm assuming this is just pulling them in then.
Yes, yeah. It's somewhere they have something. I think.
So yeah, but does that would assume that also mean it doesn't run detect, right? It just runs the list of provided.
It runs detect, so it will execute the detect and build phase of the CNB lifecycle.
But there's no auto detection supported. That's what it says in the.
Most probably because the lifecycle to be prepared for the in-system build packs. I don't know.
Yeah, they toward at the very end they talk about it that basically they only want to enable it for use of custom build packs at the moment.
Yeah, they have detailed explanation how they want to achieve and to implement the RFC. That's why, yeah, I think
Has any been? I don't think the how VCAP services and service bindings are being used like that. I believe from previous attempts around CMBs, I believe the service bindings was quite of an issue to get working, or there's no solution for that. But it's not being discussed in here.
what we discussed when the other alt RFC was in discussion. So the cloud native build packs, they have an option to check for VCAP services. So they support also VCAP services environment variable. Additionally to what Kubernetes specifies, the file-based approach to provide service binding information, they also support VCAP services. But this is a good point that they should most probably just mention that using those build packs, most probably the service binding will work the same as for alt build packs. This is one, yeah. This is what my understanding, that it will still be compatible with the other build packs.
It's different from what I've heard, but yeah. I will leave a comment.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I will put this one in progress, so that yeah, we look into it this week and next week, or yeah, provide feedback. And we have the open issue for the Bosch Prometheus org to be moved to the Cloud Foundry organization. Basically, it looks good what they propose. I was just thinking about there are some day 2 observability and work monitoring for applications, and services, whether they also belong to the foundational infrastructure working group. So the CF exporter, for example. Unfortunately, we didn't have our foundational infrastructure working group meeting last week. Couldn't discuss this.
Yeah. I believe Chris fixed the URL for the meeting, so should be able to have our meeting this week.
Yeah.
What's the question? Like, these are just the exporters then, right?
Yeah, those are for Cloud Foundry applications and Cloud Foundry services. Whether they belong to the foundational infrastructure working group, I was asking myself.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's just configuration for the it's basically plugins for the Prometheus deployment.
Yeah, it's basically the exporters run local on the Prometheus nodes and go out and scrape different API endpoints. So it's
Mhm.
basically a translator to take the data and put it into a Prometheus format that can be ingested.
Mhm.
So the work there is is obviously if your API endpoints that you're scraping change, it's obviously on somebody to maintain those so that the data doesn't go stale.
Mhm.
And the services ones, a lot of those are probably coming from Prometheus does have service discovery available to it. So you can give it access to Bosch through the Bosch exporter, and it will interrogate and look for known instance group names and other stuff to be able to then possibly ingest information for you. But yeah, I do agree with Beheim. Is it assumed that the infrastructure working group not only takes over the Prometheus base, but are they taking over the exporters as well?
I'm wondering.
Or for the particular platform, so like the CF exporters that become part of, since it's basically CAPI, is it the CAPI folks that have to maintain that?
I mean, there's nothing implied about like who's gonna maintain it, right? Like the assumption is that the people that come with this, like we are gonna form an area, and the people
Yes.
in there will maintain these things. So like from that point of view, I think it makes sense to group it together and not scatter it across different working groups.
Mm.
I'm just the CF services stuff. I cannot find those projects.
Yeah, me too. Most probably it's the same. Most probably CF services are handled like applications and they use the same CF export. I was thinking. Yeah. But yeah.
Also, the shield exporter, I don't know, that doesn't really fit well within the ecosystem, I believe, right? It's specific for probably the shield thing from Stark and Wayne. I don't believe that's part of the there's anything shield related in the Cloud Foundry org at this point.
Yeah, I don't see that. That's a very small niche offering at this point, if that. That I wouldn't have a problem with that one staying out in the community repo.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, there were only 2 organizations that use that, and I think that's going away anyway. It's not being actively maintained, the shield portion of it. I don't have anything official there. But
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
As far as the other exporters mentioned, they're not in a Bosch release format, but I left it in the chat, is the native Prometheus export repos. It's under the main Prometheus GitHub org. So it's just nobody's ported those into a Bosch release at this point.
Yeah, but then why are they mentioned here? I don't understand like we're not gonna move stuff from the native Prometheus org.
No.
Um, So I thought they are installed. Oh no, Prometheus. I don't know. I didn't look into details here. Observability Foundation brings. Most probably you need to have a setup here with Prometheus and everything so that you can use the exporters.
Yeah, so typically in the Bosch Prometheus release, there's a series of ops files that allow you to co-locate exporters that are existing Bosch releases locally on your Prometheus, and then basically you're adding the scraper configs in to pull them in. So it's just the primary ones that are in the Bosch Prometheus org. So your CF exporter, your
Uh,
Bosch exporter. Those
they
are
are
really,
in the Bosch release. They are under jobs.
Yeah.
In the Prometheus Bosch release under jobs.
okay.
There I find at least MySQL alert, dashboard, and exporter.
Oh yeah, they have the dashboards in there, the exporter. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's how we're ingesting those dashboards automatically for our release.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are from when this repo was originally formed. Like some of the like console exporter is 4 years old at this point.
But has the package been updated or is there not a package?
Let's take a look.
Yeah, but you got to remember console was removed back in CF release days. So,
Yeah.
and then people using that as a service, there's, you know,
Yeah, no, Benjamin did update it about 3 months ago.
of course,
Look at that.
Wow, this is huge here. So many Prometheus jobs. Linux. Um,
And the Shield exporter is part of the release. That's the point,
Yeah.
right? So here, that one. So it's just separate jobs or packages inside one release.
yeah.
It was updated 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I think we have to look into this more deeply. Um,
Yeah,
regarding
that's a lot of different endpoints for keep track of.
yeah. How should we proceed here?
Not that many repos though, right? There's only 9 repos
Yeah.
in that org.
Yeah. I think from an exporter, I would say just the core that would relate to CF should be considered in scope. I'm not saying that they have to ditch all the jobs and the packages, but I think from a standpoint of what's really the expectation of this, a Bosch released version of Prometheus basically is the bits of Prometheus, so Grafana Alert Manager, Push Gateway, and then the Bosch exporter, the fire hose, the CF, the ones that truly relate to Bosch and CF. And if others want to make contributions to the console, the shield, whatever other ones in there, they're welcome to it. But
There's a Shield exporter, which is a separate repo, right? So that one, it's part of the Bosch release, but probably the Shield exporter itself, which I mean was last touched 6 years ago, so it should probably be gone or just archived. DSDB exporter. It's also 6 years old.
Yeah. I've exported 3 weeks. Nothing's Bosch list weeks.
So probably it's only the top repos on the I would say the ingester exporters, that's probably just a really static component that hasn't changed. I mean, Firehose to syslog probably makes sense, although they are trying to remove that, but sure. But the Thanos Bosch release shield exporter and Bosch TSDB exporter, I don't know that last one.
Yeah.
Should probably be out of scope. I mean, basically we want only the active things, right? Like, doesn't make sense to move things over that need to be archived.
Yeah. Active and related to CF and Bosch.
I think the TSDB thing was for, they were going to do metrics for Bosch differently.
I've been thought TSDB was a thing that there was also a plugin for Bosch itself for that, right? For the health
Right,
monitor
yeah.
at some point. But I don't know who's using that protocol. Oh yeah, it even integrates with the health monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so that you can get deeper metrics on your deployments. I think that's why that was there.
Oh, it actually you co-located with your Bosch director?
Yeah, I remember doing, one of the people we played with wanted that turned on because we wanted to monitor
I mean,
Hmm.
this probably still works, right? Because none of this code has changed.
Yeah. Yeah, the Bosch API calls really, there's been some adds to them, but the syntax or anything hasn't changed.
But the Go stem cell, I don't know.
Trying to build this, it's gonna be fun. There's no Go mod file.
Yeah.
Come on, you can't convince Ferdy to come out of retirement?
I think he's going to politely tell you to go away.
Okay.
SDB. Yeah, so that the there's still health monitor properties for TSDB enable for you to turn that on so that you can send, it says alerts and heartbeats to open TSDB. So I mean, it probably still works because I don't think the TSDB stuff has really changed much at all since it was implemented. So I wouldn't rely on simply that it's got an old date that it isn't being used.
Yeah. And from like it should be in scope based on like the content, like what it does, right? It's really core Bosch that it's integrating with, so it is related to our ecosystem.
Yeah. Okay, I think we discussed this quite long time. I will put a comment maybe asking concrete about which repositories, and we see that they are unmaintained repositories too. They want everything. So yeah, only interested in stuff which is related to Cloud Foundry and Bosch and active. Yeah, I will put a comment, look a little bit further. If you want, you just add your comments here so that we have more interactive discussion. Yeah. Okay, now any other business? I see Chris Bible. Sorry, I don't, maybe I don't pronounce your name correctly.
You're one of the few people who have pronounced it correctly. Thank you.
Do you have anything, any topic, or just you are interested in the meeting?
Just interested in the meeting. I haven't worked for an organization that allowed me to do these in a couple of years. So now that I am working with an organization that allows me to join these types of things, I wanted to get back into the community again. So
Yeah, this
you're
is
stuck with me. I don't know what to tell you. Until I get fired, you're stuck with me.
Chris Weibel is a former Stark and Wayne person, so I know him from a long time ago, so he has a lot of CF knowledge.
Yep.
So he's been away for a while, but now he's back.
Yep. So yeah, we worked together for a number of years at Stark and Wayne, and then I came over to the government, and then I just pulled them in.
Happy to be.
Great. So I can put that as attended the Golf Cloud then company.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm working through the red tape to get him to go to CF Day with me as well. So hopefully we can get him there.
Yeah, the schedule is public
What?
already. If you didn't see that.
Yeah, so they got published yesterday. A lot of interesting talks. Look like they're gonna
Yes.
happen.
Yeah, yeah. And Europe, Cloud Foundry Europe is also public, the event page. Yeah. Is there anything else?
Not from my side.
Same.
Okay, then have a nice day, morning, evening, and see you next time. Take care.
All right, see you, folks.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, folks.